Hi students. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to give you kind of a rundown on how this project is supposed to look and be. So if you need to refer back to these instructions or you need to share these with somebody else, I'll also email them to everyone and your parents so you know how this project will work. We will go over it in class, so if you have any questions, I'd like you to ask those in class. One, it might be something I didn't go over, and two, it might be pertinent to everybody. So please do not email me individually regarding questions for the project. Ask them during class because everyone benefits from your questions that you have. And then it also lets me know if maybe I missed something. Okay, so the first thing is the project is adapt and modify. So it's going to sum up, sorry, I'm trying to fix my camera. It's going to sum up the unit as a whole, okay? And this is kind of your, instead of giving you a test, we're giving you a project. You do also have a test next week, the day after this project is due, so you need to keep that in mind. That's a district benchmark. Everybody in the district takes it. So quickly, I'm going to go over this. So here is the objective. It's to illustrate how you can modify and adapt the environment. You'll have multiple options to show how you can do those, and you get to pick on every slide how you're going to illustrate that, and I'll show you. Up here, you see a whole bunch of different pictures on both modifying and adapting to the environment. Here are the TEKs that are associated with this project. You will have 5 slides. The first slide, not counting, it's going to be a title slide just with your name and whatever you want to put on it and make it creative. I would do that slide last because that doesn't have any points associated with it. And then each of the other 4 slides, 10 points for a visual presentation, which is pictures and how it looks, and then up to 15 points for your verbal presentation, which is your writing. Okay. On each slide, this is your title slide. It says no points awarded, must have name, class, period on this title slide. Okay. This slide is adapting objective. So illustrate how you might adapt to the environment in the heat, cold, and mild temperatures. Give one image for each and a blurb about what you might adapt or how you would adapt. So here's you're going to put your image in by inserting your image. And here you're going to explain adaptation. I would not write 3 words and expect to receive full credit for verbal presentation. I would write a complete sentence. The next slide is modification. Okay, so research and write in detail how coal mining in North America has changed the country. Coal mining. I provided you with 2 links for research and a movie. I suggest you look at all of them. Add a text box and go ahead and write. I would suggest probably 10 sentences. You could also add a picture if you would like. Next, modify an objective. Illustrate below with 3 pictures and 5 to 10 sentences how a natural disaster modifies the environment. Pick a specific natural disaster. Now, this is the natural disaster that you started researching last week in your Flipgrid. This is why I told you to do that, is because you already have some initial research and information on how you're going to illustrate and talk about that natural disaster. By all means, you can write more than 10 sentences if it fits on this slide. Last but not least, you have a modified objective, okay? Illustrate below with 3 pictures and 5 to 10 sentences how you modified the environment. This is going to be your weekend assignment probably, or a project. This is a creative activity. You must modify your own environment. We'll discuss examples. I have examples over here in this yellow box that you can look at. And I actually have an example in the Wednesday folder in Schoology of me modifying my environment. I cut my rose bushes and I decorated the front yard for Halloween this weekend. So you have a full example of what that would look like. Example of large-scale human modifications. There's a link there, and you will need to take pictures and upload them to this slide. Show you real quick what that looks like. I will scoot over here to my Schoology, and I will show you my example, which again is located in the Schoology folder. Your project will stay in Wednesday's folder until next week when it is due, and then it will move to Wednesday's folder. Remember, this happened last time when we did a project. People all of a sudden at the last minute said, I can't find my project. I don't know where my project is. First of all, your project's in your drive once you open it. Second of all, I moved the project to when it is due, so people don't have to ask, when did we do this? When did we do this? When did we start this? It will show up in the due date folder, which is next Wednesday, the 28th, I believe, is when the project is due. So this Wednesday, here is your project. Right here, you open it, and that's the one you're going to work on. And here is my example that you can look at. It's got pictures of the before